Hello everyone, and welcome to English Hackers. This is Braden Chase, and I wanted to tell you about a story that happened today. So I was helping my son today with his reading, and he was getting a little frustrated with me because he wanted to do it this way, and I wanted to do it a different way. And he's 6, so he's still just learning how to read, right? What are the sounds in each letter and those things? So we're working through this very slowly. And he was he was having a hard time with it at first. And I would talk with him and I was like, okay, but I had a plan for this. Let's do this. And I would say, sound it out. And he would go through it, sound it out. But sound it out means when you go letter by letter. And at first it was hard for him and he kind of had a hard time with it, but he started getting it, right? Okay, sound it out, letter by letter. And if you know English very well, you know that's really hard to do in English because of the way our sound system works. But he'd work on this and we'd get through it. And at first, he'd probably get about half of the words right. But the... that's really hard to do. And he'd probably get about half of the words right. Thanks. So, and he got those ones right. And so with those words, there was a bit of a problem because about the 50 that he got right, 50% he got right. And then the other 50% he would get wrong. It's like, okay, so I would help him with those ones. And sometimes he'd get it, right, but other times it'd be harder and he'd struggle with it and struggle with it. And I'd help him a little bit and help him with it a little bit. And that's just kind of the process that we went through. That was our plan and how things worked. Now the cool part, the English part, and the part that I want you guys to remember, the important thing. So I would tell him these things. I'd say, okay, now sound this out. And he would try and sound it out in one way, right? So there's this word written down. And he would say N-O-R-T-H. Those are the names of the letters. Like, okay, now sound it out. Do the sounds of the letters. You go N, A, earth. Okay, say it all together. Narth. And he'd stop for a second. He's like, that's not a word. That doesn't work. Narth. 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 And he would try, and he'd try the sound differently. Try it this way and try it that way. Change these sounds just a little bit until he would land on north. North. And then his face would light up and he's like, oh, I get it. That's a word. That's a word. I get this. North. I say north. I know north. And this is north here. And he'd make those connections and it was really fun. And he kept doing that, this process, right? He'd hit a word. I don't know that word. Well, sound it out. Da, 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 da. And he'd try it and test it and be wrong. And that's okay. But he'd try and test and then it would lock. And he'd realize it and he'd understand. It's like, I get it. I understand. Here's the word. And it was really fun. And at first I'm like, haha, I'm such a good teacher. But that's not really what was going on, right? It wasn't because of me. And this is the lesson that I want you guys to learn here. That reading and what was going on wasn't because of me as the teacher or the father or anything like that. Reading is based on speaking. So he was able to read those things because he could speak well. And he could go and he could connect his speaking and the language he already knew to his writing, to his reading, to the words that were written on the page. And because he could speak, then he could read. And the foundation of speaking is you. It's us. It's human beings. We are the foundation of speaking. So if you are human, which I think most of you are, if you are human, then you can speak. And if you can speak, then you can read. And that's why I started my course, right? The first course that I'm building right now is an English speaking secrets, and it is about speaking, right? Because this is just the foundation of language and learning how to speak and communicate and function within a language. It starts with speaking. So that's where we're going. And then we'll move on and we'll do some other things afterwards. It'll be very fun. But I want you guys to remember that, right? That the foundation of language is you. And you can speak English. Okay, so thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you later.